Namaste, it's Sahara Rose, and welcome back to the Highest Self podcast, a place where we discuss what makes you your soul's highest evolvement. This is a bit of a different conversation today because this is actually coming straight from my Manifest Your Magic YouTube series with my dear friend, Mia Magik. So this YouTube series is all about becoming your most mystical and magical embodied self. And in today's conversation that I'm sharing with you here on the podcast, it's all about how to manifest your spiritually aligned besties. Because let's be real, often you go through a spiritual growth journey and your other friends don't. And you can feel lonely and isolated and like you don't really have anyone to talk to about all of the new things that you're discovering. So we actually share with you a ritual, a practice that you can do in your everyday life that will allow you to find those friends, but also be the embodiment of the type of person you would want to be friends with. So without further ado, let's dive into the episode. And before we get started, I have an announcement for you. The greatest way that we can help balance and heal our nervous systems is through embodiment work. You see, we spend most of our times in our heads. We are constantly analyzing, trying to make sense of the world and predict the future. But what we really need to create the future that we want is to drop into our body's wisdom and understand what it's telling us. And that way we can bring about more healing and co-create the circumstances that we desire. And that really comes first from knowing our body's language. So I have created my free Goddess embodiment practice, which will allow you to drop into your body's wisdom in under 10 minutes. This is the perfect practice you can do if you have no prior experience to embodiment, or if you're already practicing yoga, meditation, maybe you're working out, but you want something a little bit more feminine and flowy to add to the end or beginning of it. This practice is for you. I play incredible music and I guide you through dancing and just really feeling the messages that your body has for you. And you're going to feel so different on the other side. People seriously say, I can't believe how amazing I feel in less than 10 minutes. And I'm so excited to see how it turns out for you. So if you're interested, head over to iamsahararose.com/embodiment. Again, that's iamsahararose.com/embodiment. And you can find that link in the show notes and download the practice. Without further ado, let's get into this week's episode. Hello, beautiful beings. Welcome back to Manifest Your Magic. We are so excited to be here and supporting you in living your most magical and abundant and playful and sensual and all of the things life. My name is Sahara Rose.
I'm Mia Magik.
And today we're going to be sharing about how to manifest your most aligned besties. Because let's be real, you can't do your spiritual journey on your own. It's so important to have soul sisters like we have each other to really help you to get to the next level of your life. Yeah. It's something that you can't do as a lone wolf. So we're here to actually share with you and guide you through a process to manifest your besties.
And this has been such a big thing for both of us. We both know what it's like to be alone on the journey and to be really toiling away at your spiritual path and feel completely isolated. Like you don't have anyone to talk to. Like people aren't interested in the same things as you are. And so this is such a great process to utilize in order to really be a magnet for the kind of people that you want to attract in your life and do the kinds of things that you enjoy and that make you feel inspired. And then that energy really shifts the entire dynamic of every single aspect, your purpose, your career, your abundance, your relationships, and really just makes life so much more worth living. So we're so excited to share this with you.
So let's get started. Pull out your favorite journal and a pen. And we're going to guide you through a series of questions to help you get really clear on your future besties. Ready for it?
First question. What are they like? What are the kinds of things that you would say to describe the people that are your best friends? Are they kind? Are they funny? Are they intelligent? And really just, who are they? What are they like?
So question 2, What are they interested in? What kind of things do you guys talk about, geek out over, share memes about? Maybe you're all into being a witch or manifestation or new moon rituals or herbology, improv. There are so many amazing topics out there, but it's really clear to be aware of what do you guys have in common? What are they interested in? And what brings you guys together?
Next is, how do they spend their free time? We all know that there's many different varying degrees of how much free time you have depending on your work schedule. So how do they spend that free time? Do you really want friends that want to go outside with you? Do you want friends that want to do rituals and ceremonies with you? How are they enjoying their life? What are their hobbies like? This is a little different than what they're interested in. It's really like, what does their day consist of? So that if you're all sharing days together or you're doing things together, what would be the kinds of things that maybe in your shared free time you could spend doing together?
Now, the next question is, what are their values? It's so important to be clear on the values, both of yourself and for that friend. So do they value truth, creativity, joy, magic, kindness, compassion? Make a list of the 10 things that this friend really deeply values.
And this one is really more about the subtleties, the intricacies, and getting really specific. How do they treat people? And even more specifically, how do they treat you? What are the things that being around these people make you feel? Are they really supportive, like the kinds of friends that are going to come over and make you soup when you're sick? Or the kinds of friends that even when you're going through something with your partner, they're not going to project their shit onto you and to him and be like, oh girl, you should just dump him. They actually want to hear you and want to know about your feelings and care about supporting you to make whatever decision is best for you. This is really a big one. And I think that Sahara's example that we shared in our last video that you can watch on my channel about really listening to the needs of someone that maybe you wouldn't otherwise pay attention to or hear. Seeing an angel in a homeless person, that kind of person is very special. And to have people like that in your life can be something that you can ask the universe for.
So now that you have your list, we invite you to take a really good look at it. What are the things that pop out to you? The values, the interests, the way that they treat people, the way that they treat you. How do you feel now just looking at this paper, this manifestation, this person embodied in human form? Does it make you feel excited, nervous, warm?
Do you feel safe? Do you feel expansive? Do you feel inspired? Really tuning in with, as you read through this list, and you can take it as many times as you need, just reading through, seeing what the most important things are. And if you want to distill it and just get really specific, like these are maybe the 5 or 10 main things that really represent these words, or this energy represents the kind of friends that I want to have, the kind of bestie I want to manifest. And as you're looking at that list, paying deep attention to seeing where in your body you feel alive or lit up or activated, and what is that sensation within you? And then one little tidbit, as you're feeling into this list and noticing the good sensations, there's also a really powerful opportunity to look at the things that maybe feel like resistance or shame or unworthiness of having friends like this. And as you tune in with the good emotions, really utilizing them to bring that high vibration state into the places that maybe feel afraid or worried, like you wouldn't deserve to have friends like that, and really nourishing those places and that fear with those high vibration emotions.
So good. So now that you have this list, we have a little secret for you.
It's a good one. You are going to become that friend.
Yeah. So you have created a manifestation list for yourself. And we invite you tonight and for the next 40 or so days every single night, meditate on this list and how you can embody these qualities, the core values, the interests, the way they show up in the world. This is your North Star, because the truth is we can only be friends with people that we carry a similar vibration with. You know, Mia and I, we danced around each other for years, but we could only align at the perfect time that we were both truly embodying our queendom hoods. So it's so important for us to not look outside of ourselves of why don't I have good friends? Why are my friends like this? But actually take ownership of our part in that friendship. And also take that space to really develop ourselves, to look at our shadow spots, our blind spots, so we can become that person who is our own best friend.
And as you're utilizing this meditation, I think what Sahara said is great. 40 days of meditation is so important. Really focusing on the feelings, on that nourishing of the shadow part in you that maybe is worried that it won't happen or that you might never find those people. But an even greater, more powerful, more difficult, so this is like the extra credit level of this manifestation, is actually going out and embodying all of these things in an even deeper way. Really showing up for people, if that's one of the things that you wrote, like paying for the person's coffee behind you in line at the coffee shop, or helping an old lady across the street, or going out and playing beach volleyball, if that's something that you're interested in. But really not just utilizing that visualization and meditation time, but actually genuinely going out into your own life and embodying all of these qualities in a totally amplified way so that you literally become a magnet. You are sending out a toroidal energetic field of exactly what you want to call in to the universe and showing it that you're ready to be the kind of friend that you want to have.
So good, so juicy. And if you're ready to take it up a notch even further, we invite you to actually write down a list of the ways that you are not yet that person. So be really clear on the things that maybe you still haven't fully stepped up into. Maybe you can recognize, I'm wanting really playful friends, but am I playing? Or I'm wanting friends that are really hardworking and ambitious. Am I embodying that? And write down a really honest list with yourself, because it's so important for us to look at again, the shadows, the areas that we may not want to look at, and to really give them a lot of love. First of all, to not beat yourself up about why am I not that person, to give yourself a lot of love and a lot of nurturing to step into that version of you.
And as you look at this honest list of the ways that you're not showing up, every time you see that, you can use the manifestation embodiment as sort of your map. It's like your navigation system and the guidance for, okay, wow, I went out into the world today with the intention of being like this, and this story came up that said, oh, if I express myself in this way, or oh, if I wear this, I'll be rejected or I'll be abandoned. And then I ended up shrinking or hiding. And that's not what my ideal friend would do. She or he or they would show up and shine bright and be big and be their fullest self. And I wasn't able to do that. And then tuning in with that part of you, this is where the meditation can go really deep. And it's great to have a coach or a therapist or someone who can support you with this if that's something that you have in your life, but you can do it on your own. I know this queen has done so much magical, deep spiritual work on her own. It's so impressive. And I tend to like to have a guide, but I've done a little on my own too. And you go in and talk to the part of you that felt like you needed to hide or felt like it needed to shrink, and have a conversation with it. You can even write a letter from it and say, I call upon that part of me that wanted to hide when X, or when I wanted to show up, but instead I hide it, to write to me, through me, anything I'm meant to receive in this moment. And then see what that part has to say. What does it need? Maybe it just needs to feel held. And so that's something you can integrate into your meditation. It's like, hey, I got you. You're good. I love you. It's okay. Maybe it just needs to feel like a little more adornment or a little more activation. Maybe it wants to be doing a deeper spiritual practice in order to really proclaim these embodied ways of being in, if you're calling in more spiritual friends, and really utilizing that shadow list as an amplification and the motivation that will allow you to keep embodying even more deeply all of the qualities you want to call in your friendships.
Yes. And the last tip that we have for you is to join communities where this type of person would be. Mia has her witch school. I have my Rose Gold Goddesses community. Maybe it's your local library has a class all about, diving into Harry Potter, or you join a knitting class or surfing. But especially online, we can get so specific about communities, and we're never going to find that person if we're just like sitting in our homes by ourselves, like waiting for them to come through. We also have to show up and get to know new people. And again, like we talked about in the manifestation video, maybe they aren't that exact person you wrote down, but in a way they bring to your life qualities that you were missing and didn't even know about yet. So also remain open to who is showing up. You may make your best friend who is 70 years old or 7 years old, and every single person has so many incredible lessons and gifts to show us. So be sure to dive into different communities. We will link ours below because there are so many incredible, aligned, magical, heart-centered, divine feminine queens waiting for friends like you. It just takes us taking the initiation to get to know them.
Yeah. And that's a really important piece too, is you got to say yes. You have to be willing to get up and out. And even if you're more on the introverted side, that's totally okay. If someone invites you somewhere and there's like, a little bit of fear and you don't know and you're like not sure, but what you desire is to find friendships, even with other introverted people, just try doing something outside of your comfort zone. And you can be in your own space and your own energy, even out at a public setting. But that was one of the most powerful things for me in attracting my soul tribe, is saying yes. Even if it sounded kind of weird, I'm like, what's a gong breathwork sound bath? I don't know what that means. But that practice and engaging in that community is what brought some of my greatest friends to me. And I would never have known to say yes if I hadn't listened to that little nudge of my intuition.
Such incredible tips. So share with us in the comment below a couple of the qualities that you are seeking to manifest both in your bestie and in yourself. Who knows? They may be in the comments below waiting.
Make friends.
Yes, follow each other, reach out to each other. Anyone that's watching our videos is probably quite soul aligned with you. So take that initiation and say yes. We're so excited to be here with you. Be sure to like and subscribe to stay tuned for our next video.
Welcome to Your Most Magical Life.
I hope you enjoyed that episode and you used that ritual to attract your spiritually aligned besties. And be sure to subscribe over on my YouTube channel. You can find that link in the show notes, youtube.com/Sahara Rose, for the rest of the Manifest Your Magic series. We have so many incredible episodes for you. And I also share the videos of all of these conversations and episodes over on my YouTube channel. So if you're not subscribed over there, I highly recommend it to get the full immersive experience. So thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll see you on the next episode. If you loved this episode, I would love to send you a free gift, which is the first half of my unreleased book, Eat Right for Your Mind Body Type. This is a different book than Eat Feel Fresh, my first book ever, which is not released anywhere. And I am gifting it exclusively to those who leave a review of my podcast in the iTunes store. So all you got to do is head over to iTunes, where you may be listening to this podcast, and leave a review. Take a screenshot that you've left it and email it over to me at Sahara@eatfeelfresh.com. Again, that's Sahara, Sahara, at eatfeelfresh.com. And I will send you back the first half of my unreleased book, Eat Right for Your Mind Body Type, which goes all into Ayurveda, doshas, plant-based nutrition, body types, all of the things in a really fun and engaging way. So this is my gift to you for free for supporting the podcast. Every single review I personally read. It really helps the podcast be listened to by more people so we can raise the vibration of the planet together. And I am so grateful to have you on this journey. Thank you so much for listening, and I'll see you on the next episode. Namaste.